Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom KLS, Shabbat shalom to you who have joined us online. I'm just going to switch on my phone so I can see who is there and greet you properly. I mean, at least those who I can see on the... Okay, please. Okay. Sarah, Shabbat Shalom. I can see you that Sarah is here. So, page 105. Please stand. Ma tovu oalecha Yaakov, oalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu oalecha Yaakov, oalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. V'ani berov chasdecha avo veitecha eshtachavei elech al kodshecha behiratecha ma tovu oalecha Yaakov oalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael ma tovu oalecha Yaakov oalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. V'ani 105 Tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim berov chasdecha avo veitecha ma tovu oalecha Yaakov oalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael ma tovu oalecha Yaakov oalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Please be seated. As we say the prayers of our ancestors, help us, O God, to remember their faith and devotion, their joy and suffering, and make us worthy of our heritage. May the tradition we have received live in us and pass from us to generations we shall never know, enriched by the truth we have found and the good we have done. So may we fulfill our task on earth and receive our blessings. Yehi ratzon milefanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'eteinu. Eternal God, school us in your teachings and make us loyal to your commandments. May we never consent to evil or surrender to temptation of self-contempt. Help us to rise above selfishness and make us responsive to the voice of conscience. Direct our every impulse to your service. Today and every day may we merit kindness and compassion in your sight and in the sight of all who behold us, and let us know your love. We praise you, O God, for the love you daily show us. Shachar avakesh chatzuri umiskabi eror lefanecha shachi vegam yarvi lifnei gedulatar emod ve'bael ki enecha tire kol machshevot libi ma ze asher yuchal halev ve'halashon לעשות ומה כוח רוחי בתוך קרבי הנה לך תיטב זמרת אנוש על כן, הודך בהותיה, נשמת אלוהי בי. ברוך שאמר והיה העולם, ברוך הוא. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המהולל בפי עמו, משובח ומפואר בלשון חסידיו ועבדיו. בשבחות ובזמיחות נגדלך ונמליכך מלכנו יחיד חיי העולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל בתשבחות. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יללוך סלה. אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו. And we read responsively. Always I will exalt you, my sovereign God, and praise your name forever. Beginning each day with praise, I will extol your name forever. Cause us to see your greatness is beyond us, eternal one forever to be praised. Declaring your works to each generation, we bear witness to your mighty acts. Even as they speak of your splendor, so I will meditate on your wonderful deeds. For as they tell of your awesome might, so I will recount your greatness. Great is your goodness which I celebrate, as they sing of your righteousness. Holding us in your grace and compassion, you are patient and abounding in love. In your goodness, eternal God, you have mercy on all your creatures. Joyfully your works shall thank you, and your faithful ones shall praise you. Knowing how great is your majesty, they proclaim your might. Let all humanity perceive your power and the glorious splendor of your death. Mighty is your rule and everlasting. Your reign endures in all generations. O God, you support the falling and raise up all who are bowed down. Pleading, all look in hope to you, and you give them their food in due season. Quietly you open your hand and satisfy the needs of every living creature. Righteous are you in all your ways, and loving in all your deeds. So near are you to all who call upon you, to all who call upon you in truth. The desire of those who revere you, you fulfill. You hear their cry and help them. Unceasingly our lips shall sing God's praise. So may all creatures laud your holy name forever. ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם. Hallelujah. We turn to page 135. Please stand. השתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, האל המלך הגדול והקדוש, בשמיים ובארץ. כי לך נאי אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, שירו שבחה, הלל וזמחה, ברכות והודעות מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בשירי זמרה. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Please be seated. Page 136. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of the universe, maker of light and creator of darkness, author of peace and creator of all things. In your mercy you give light to the earth and all who live on it, and in your goodness you renew creation continually day by day. How manifold are your works, O God! With wisdom have you made them all. The world is full of your creations. Your handiwork proclaims your praise. The radiant stars bear witness to your glory. We praise you, O God, creator of light. And let's read together. Great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of life. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to learn and teach, and with love to uphold the truth of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching, make us faithful to your commandments, and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. We praise you, O God. In love you have called your people Israel to serve you. Please stand. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וגשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אמת. Please be seated. Have you got your siddur? Because they are now outside. Good and beautiful and true, sound, established and enduring are these words now and forever. True it is, eternal one, that you are sovereign God and Redeemer. As you were the God and Redeemer of ancestors, you are our Maker, the rock of salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then, with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh norah, tehilot hoseh fele 139 norah, tehilot hoseh fele Adonai yimloch leolam vaed, Adonai yimloch leolam vaed. O Rock of Israel, sustain your people Israel, for you, God of the host of heaven, are our Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. Please stand. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'emoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov. אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכה חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיע ישועה, ונאמנת לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה המתים. We sanctify your name on earth as in the prophet's vision. The host of heaven sing your praise above, for so it is written. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech kol haaretz kevodo. God's glory fills the universe. Baruch kevod Adonai mimekomo. From your concealment, majestic one, reveal yourself and rule over us, for you are our hope. Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohai Tzion, ledor vador, Hallelujah. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador nagid gor lecha, ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador nagid gor lecha, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך, קדושתך נקדיש, ושברך אלוהינו מפינו, לא ימוש, לא ימוש לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גולך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. You inspired our ancestors to hallow this day for your service. When upon its coming we pause to contemplate our life, we learn anew that we do not live by bread alone, but also by the spiritual nourishment we receive when we open ourselves to influence. We thank you for the Sabbath day and for the opportunity it offers to enhance the quality of our lives. We thank you for its joy and for its peace. May our worship help us to take into our hearts its message of holiness and consecrate all our days by devotion to what is true, beautiful, and good. ישמחו במלכותך, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג, המקדשי שביעי, המקדשי שביעי, כולם ישמחו וינתנגו מטובך, והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו. חמדת ימים, חמדת ימים, אותו קראת, זכר למעשה בראשית. Our God and God of ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, eternal one, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Eternal God, be gracious to people Israel, and in your love accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. And we say together, we give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'al kol Israel amecha b'cheinu avinu kulanu ke'echad be'or panecha כי באר פניך נתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך. תורת חיים ואהבת חסד וצדקה וברכה ורחמים וחיים ושלום ורחמים וחיים ושלום. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד רחמים ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל עמך. It is good in your sight that you people Israel and all peoples be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, God, the source of peace. And we take now a few moments for private prayer and meditation. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Hoseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel. kol Israel, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshbei adam. Right, now we are reaching the next part of our service, Seder Kriyat HaTorah, and on this Shabbat we read Parashat Ki Tavo, which is the third to the last parashat of the book of Deuteronomy, because very soon we'll reach Simchat Torah, but in the meantime we have a few festivals to go through first. So Ki Tavo, I will talk to you a bit later about Ki Tavo. There is a very interesting passage. The passage I'm going to read for you in a moment is about a ritual in the Temple of Jerusalem, and there are not many rituals described in Torah, so I think it's an interesting one. And yesterday when I talked about this, I linked it to the very ritualized period we're going through at the moment, with the death of the queen, the 10 days of mourning, and it's, and I watched this morning a bit, the live stream in Westminster Hall, and I was there. I watched it. I wouldn't spend 24 hours queuing, to be honest, but I saw, the change of the guard, and it's so ritualized. It's very interesting to see that there's a way to keep people together, which, rituals do. You don't want to mess around. You don't want to make a stupid joke when the ritual is performed in front of you. And I think after Monday, maybe we can go to a more relaxed way of living together, but at the moment rituals are very much at the center of our life, and not only in Britain. Gosh, I have friends in France who say the Queen is everywhere. It's kind of we know what we did to our kings some 3 centuries ago. I don't know, is it kind of, we regret we should have monarchy again? Anyway, the Queen was very, very much loved by the French. Sorry?
It's not monarchy again. The Queen was a monarch.
The Queen was a monarch, but not the French monarch. So, Okay. Page 490. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities to hear and learn to revere the Eternal One, your God, and observe faithfully all the precepts of His Torah. And let the children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere the Eternal One, your God. So we need people to open the ark, to take the scroll out, to undress. Can I have volunteers? Yeah? Okay, brilliant. Dominique, are you happy to do that? And maybe... do you want to open the ark, Michael? Yes? And so we've got 2 ark openers. You can... take the scroll and sit there, and then you can undress the scroll, and then I'll take 2 other people later. Okay? Please stand. Ve'ahenenu b'toratecha v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha ve'yached levaveinu le'ahava u'leicha et shemecha. Close the ark. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adoneinu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadelu l'Adonai Yiti, Nechomama Shemo Yachtav. Lech. So how we sing, because I always start with the wrong one. What's the tune? Vedula ve'agevura ve'atiferet ve'anetza ve'a. It's not this one. Or whatever. Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aret כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה, והמתנשא לכל ראש. So Sandra, what's the kosher one for careless? You don't remember? Good.
I know it, but I can't say that to me. That's not right.
Yeah, but you disturb the service, so you've been called on that. Yeah.
What verses we do?
Oh, okay. So it's Deuteronomy Chapter 26, verses 1 to 11. 1 to 11. Thank you. Please be seated. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 26, verses 1. What's happening? There's a rebellion at KLS. So you need to teach it to me because Okay, no problem. I'm very happy. Okay, you happy now? Sandra, you happy? Good. So, this is what the text says. And maybe I should actually take the courage once just to translate from Hebrew, but always a bit frightened to get stuck from Hebrew to English. So I use that. I use a translation already. So I think it's best. So, Kitavo. When you enter the land that the eternal your God is giving you as a heritage, and you possess it and settle in it, you shall take some of every first fruit of the soil which you harvest from the land that the eternal your God is giving you, put it in a basket and go to the place where the eternal your God will choose to establish God's name. You shall go to the priest in charge at that time and say to him, I acknowledge this day before the eternal your God that I have entered the land that the eternal swore to our fathers to assign us. The priest then shall take a basket from your hand and set it down in front of the altar of the eternal your God. You shall then recite as follows before the eternal your God, and this is what we have in the Haggadah. Arami Oved Avi, my father, was a fugitive Aramean. He went down to Egypt with meager numbers and sojourned there, but there he became a great and very populous nation. The Egyptians dealt harshly with us and oppressed us. They imposed heavy labor upon us. We cried to the Eternal, the God of our fathers, and the Eternal heard our plea and saw our plight, our misery, and our oppression. The Eternal freed us from Egypt by a mighty hand and by an outstretched arm and awesome power and by signs and portents. He brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Wherefore I now bring the first fruits of the soil which you, O Eternal, have given me. You shall leave it before the Eternal your God, and bow low before the Eternal your God. And you shall enjoy, together with the Levite and the stranger in your midst, all the bounty that the Eternal your God has bestowed upon you and your household. Okay, so let's have a blessing together. Please stand. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed, Baruch ata Adonai אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני, נותן התורה. אמן. Please be seated. והיה כי תבוא אל הארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך נחלה, וירשת וישבת בה, ולקחת מראשית כל פרי אדמה, אשר תביא מארצך, אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך, ושמת ותנה, והלכת אל המקום אשר יברך אדוני אלוהיך לשכן שמו שם, ובאת אל הכהן אשר יהיה בימים ההם, ואמרת אליו, הגדתי היום לאדוני אלוהיך, כי באתי אל הארץ אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותינו לתת לנו, ולקח הכהן התנה מידיך, והניחו לפני מזבח אדוני אלוהיך. וענית ואמרת לפני אדוני אלוהיך, ארמי עובד אבי, וירד מצרימה, ויגור שם במתי מעט, וישם לגוי גדול עצום ורב, ויראו אותנו המצרים וינונו, ויתנו עלינו עבודה קשה, ונצעק אל אדוני אלוהי אבותינו, וישמע אדוני את קולנו, וירא את עוניינו, ואת עמלנו, ואת לחצנו, ויוציאנו אדוני ממצרים ביד חזקה, ובזרוע נטויה, ובמורא גדול, ובאותות ובמופתים. ויביאנו אל המקום הזה, וייתן לנו את הארץ הזאת, ארץ זבת חלב ודבש, ועתה הנה הבאתי את ראשית פרי אדמה, אשר נתת לי אדוני, והניחו לפני אדוני אלוהיך, והשתחווית לפני אדוני אלוהיך, ושמחת בכל הטוב אשר נתן לך אדוני אלוהיך ולביתך, אתה והלוי והגר אשר בקרבך. Please stand. And we say the blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chaye olam nata betocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Yes, it's a bit heavy, when it's the end. Are you happy to do it, Vince? Yeah? Okay, Vince, and then can I have maybe I will ask Sandra and Craig to dress the scroll? No, it's just to dress. It's okay? Okay, so Mary. Sorry? You wounded. Oh, poor thing. I'm really sorry. So Mary and Craig. And we are on page 492. You can just go sit there.
No,
Yes, we are. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit heavy. I don't know how you confident you feel about, Yeah, I mean. Yes. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
With you.
You haven't worked all day. So do you want another? This one. Wow. Fight on the bima.
You said you were married.
Yeah. 33 years, wow. Don't forget the jingly. The rimonim, sorry, the rimonim. Please stand. We're already standing. Huh? They don't know, yes, please. Page 493. Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask your blessing for our sovereign King Charles and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May you all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity. מי שברך אבותינו ואמותינו, הוא יברך את כל אחינו ואחיותינו בני ישראל הבאים לבתי כנסיות לתפילה ולצדקה. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless all our brothers and sisters of the house of Israel who enter synagogues to pray and to give aid to those in need. May the Holy One ever to be praised hear their prayers and help them to fulfill their aspirations for good. יהללו את שם אדוני כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ ושמיים וירם כרם לעמו תהילה לכל חסידיו מבני ישראל עם נאורו. Please be seated. So I've asked Beitenu to come to us in 15 minutes to change the Torah Scrolls covers, because tonight we start officially, it's very hard to say, but we're starting a new season. We're starting the Slichot, the penitential season, and we will change the Torah covers. And thanks to Mary for organizing their cleaning and ironing and everything so we can have proper. So I'm going to do my Dvar Torah now, and we'll say the Kaddish, and then we'll finish the service with the kids, changing the Torah Scrolls cover and Adon Olam with the kids. Okay? So as I said earlier, Parashat Ki Tavo begins with a description of a ceremony for bringing the first fruits to the temple. As part of this ritual, the following is to be recited by the pilgrim or the farmer bringing the produce. A wandering Aramean or fugitive Aramean, there's some discussions about Oved, what Oved means, was my ancestors. He descended to Egypt. There he became a great and mighty nation. The Egyptians did us harm and caused us suffering. They placed upon us the burden of hard labor. We called out to the eternal, the God of ancestors. God heard our voices, and God saw our suffering and hard labor and our oppression. The eternal brought us forth from there with a strong hand and an outstretched arm, with signs and with wonders. And he brought us to this place, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land that you have given to me. So the farmer is instructed to recite these words as a means of engaging in what we call in Hebrew hakarat hatov, acknowledging the goodness that we have received from God. And I was thinking about, the theme of these high holidays, what kind of things we want to tell the congregation when you have so many people coming to the synagogue. And one of the things I really want to do this year with you is to try to find in the Jewish tradition all the tools that will help us to go through this very difficult time in our history. It's kind of historical moment. So hakarat atov, acknowledging the goodness of the good that is in our life, is a way to change a bit the perspective and not to give in to despair. As I said, this passage is also in the Haggadah from Passover. And as the Haggadah puts it, the farmer is expected to remember that if not for God's redemption of his ancestors in Egypt, behold, we and our children and our children's children would have been enslaved by Pharaoh. This declaration frames the act of bringing the first fruits as not simply thanksgiving, but as an acknowledgement that ultimately the farmer's harvest belongs to God, who made possible the cultivation of the land and its consequent bounty. The bringing of the first fruits is a token act of returning the fruits of the harvest to the true owner. And remember, in the Jewish calendar, we have these two poles in the Jewish tradition. We've got Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur now, and in 6 months' time we have Passover. So these festivals actually echoes, speak to each other. There's an ongoing conversation between, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, which is very personal. It's about us as individuals, and Passover in 6 months, which is about us as a community. So this is why it's interesting to have this particular passage now as we enter this period. So when we retell the story of the Exodus from Egypt on the night of the Seder, it is these verses that we recite and interpret rather than the narrative of the book of Exodus. Surely this is a striking feature of the Haggadah. Recalling the Exodus is not intending to be simply or even mainly a history lesson. We don't come to the Seder to have a history lesson. Rather, like in the case of this declaration prescribed in Deuteronomy 26 when we bring the first fruits, it is an attempt to understand how our own lives are rooted in that experience. This is true both in the sense that we should be motivated to give thanks for the benefit that we enjoy as a consequence of our redemption long ago, and in that we should shape our relations with those around us in accord with the message of the Exodus. When we bend others to our will through manipulation and coercion, we are taking the role of Pharaoh. When we work to release others from oppression, we are doing God's redemptive work. And this leads to another comment. The choice of Deuteronomy 26 over the book of Exodus is to use, I don't know if you've heard about Yosef Yerushalmi. He wrote a book about history and historiography in the Jewish tradition. And Yerushalmi said that using Deuteronomy 26 over the book of Exodus is the choice of memory over historiography. We know that no modern historian will consider Exodus as the book of Exodus as a historically reliable document. We know that. It's a kind of midrash in its own right. The impulse to read it is the desire to recall what actually happened on a different level. The choice of Deuteronomy, on the other hand, implies that the exact details of the Exodus story don't really matter. They are less important than the meaning of the Exodus for each generation that will follow. So the fact that this very portion is usually read at the end of a Jewish year is not without importance. It is interesting to note that the end of Torah is actually a threshold. The children of Israel are about to enter a new chapter of their life, of their history. Moses is not part of this new chapter. It's an opening towards the future, a bit like what we're going through at the moment in British history. We are entering a new chapter of our history, and the Queen, who's been there with us for 70 years, is no longer part. But it's obvious that, her influence will be felt over the next, I don't know how many generations. And this is exactly the same case as well for the high holidays. We are about to enter the high holiday seasons, the start of a new year, a new chapter in our life, and much depends on how we will start this year, and much depends on our state of mind. So these are a few questions that I have for you. How prepared are you or are we for this new chapter? And are we in the right frame of mind to face a new year? So, of course, we have many tools in the Jewish tradition to help us to face this kind of change, threshold, or challenges, because every change is a challenge in itself. So our Torah portion suggests a certain attitude, a certain frame of mind, which is hakarat atov, to acknowledge the goodness that we have received from God. It is hard to change the world, as they say, but it's much easier to see how we see the world. With the right attitude, the high holidays will be a time of renewal and a time of renewed strength to face the challenges ahead. Ken Yeh Ratzon, may be God's will. Right, a few announcements before we turn to the next part of the service. Tonight, 8 o'clock, Slichot service, which is, before Rosh Hashanah. In the Jewish tradition, there is a service which doesn't really follow the pattern of the usual services, which is a Slichot service. So how do you say sorry in Hebrew? Modern Hebrew, Slicha. Yeah? So we're going to say sorry, for the next 2 weeks. We're going to say sorry a lot, and which is in a way, sometimes it's good, to say, I can mess up my life, and we do this more often than we care to admit. But we start tonight by this service of Slichot with nice music, with a choir. It's a very intimate moment, and I think it's a very nice moment to. It's informal without being informal. I don't know how to describe it, but there is a very nice, gentle, spiritual atmosphere to this service. Next week we have a choral service on Friday evening. No? I don't know. It's what I had in. I'm going to check I'm going to check now because I don't want to say.
You'll have a choir because there's a choir for Rosh Hashanah on Friday.
So that's a very good point.
What time does that service start?
Okay, I'm going to come in a moment. I just want. Gosh, now that you're saying that.
Oh, maybe it is. It's just
Is it a service? I can't find now my. Okay. So
That there will be a service.
there will be a service. So
It might be called.
this is.
currently here.
This is the right one. Okay. So Friday the 23rd, choral Erev Shabbat service. Yeah. So that's a choral service. And Saturday, a normal service. No, it's not a normal service. It will be a study session, because we're going to start all this long series of services. We thought that it would be really nice to have a moment where we can actually pause and read the text that will be read on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So we're going to have a short opening service in the morning and then have a Torah study. So that's next Saturday. And it's 10:45, so always 10:45 now, except for the holy days, so that you see this on your tickets. Okay, always 10:45. And of course, next Sunday, 25th, family service. So I have a confirmation that Tammy is going to do that. She just texted me. And then we have a Seder, which, it's going to be a short Seder, quite early because we'll have kids with us, so we don't want to make them go to bed too late. I don't really care, but for our parents, honestly. And Monday 26th, Rosh Hashanah service at 10:30. And Mary and Craig are inviting us to a Rosh Hashanah lunch at their homes, so you can talk to them, but bring a dish to share, because you can't expect Mary and Craig to cook and bake for I don't know how many people will be there. Okay, I think that's enough to absorb as a series of news. So, sorry? What did you say?
I said, can you repeat that?
No, I won't, Philip, I won't. Go into the newsletter. So the kids are going to come in 2 minutes. So let's do the Kiddush together first. Kiddush, yeah. Yeah, let's do the Kaddish together. You want to fire me? Huh? I can see Sandra. She's already petitioning the council to fire the rabbi. No, you need someone to bully. Okay, so on this Shabbat, we remember Sidney Ward. Yeah, please come in. Yeah, Beitenu, you can start. Yeah. Okay. Sidney Ward, the father of Jane Watts. Sibylla Friedler, the mother of Susie Abrams. Victoria Edelstein, the mother of Katia Ray and grandmother of Ben and Natasha. Remember Betty Griffith, the grandmother of Naomi Ennefer. Arnold Freeman, the husband of Pauline Freeman, Liesl Johnson, the mother of Tina Higgins, and Musa Zadeh, the father of Jamshid Zadeh. Have I forgotten? No? Yeah. No, Margaret. Yeah, of course, yeah. Sorry, Margaret Trigger, the mother of Mary Simmons, grandmother of Robert Allison and Nathan. Is there any other name you'd like to remember? And of course, we can remember Her Majesty the Queen, even though she wasn't Jewish, she can be included in our Kaddish today. Now, normally we say the Kaddish after the burial, but it's okay. Page 524. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divra chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעלמי עלמיה, יתבהר וישתבר ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ביחתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם, ואמרו אמן. Please be seated. Mary, could we have the Torah cover now? And I'm going to ask Bethany to come in. Yeah, they can come now. Yes. Yeah, come when I feel like coming. Okay, so I don't know why timing is never work, but so yeah, we thought that changing the Torah covers with Bethany was actually an interesting thing to do for the. Maybe I should. Yes, so we can. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So this is a big one. I know which one it is. Oh, they're really, really clean. Come on, kids. Look, what are we doing?
So this is the one that we tried, but in the small.
Here you are. Come on. Well, what's your name? What's your name? Scott. Scott. Okay. Welcome, Scott. So, we change. No. Caroline explained to you earlier that the color for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is white. So we change the color, so there are many reasons. You know, in some cultures, white is the color of grief. But it's also the idea of purity, which is a kind of a strange idea. But anyway, so you're cleansing yourself, cleaning yourself, all the bad things you've done, you're going to say, God, sorry, I've done it, I will never do it, and the day after we start again. But it's okay. At least once a year you can just do that. So we need to match the scrolls. So now I need you to come here. Let's come together. I will probably need some adults as well. Okay, so we need to check the length. Okay.
And that must be the.
That's the big one. Let's check. Is it sufficient? Yes. So take that. You've got this one. Take that. Can I have an adult to go and to change? It's a bit heavy. Yeah. So go somewhere. Sit somewhere. No, you have to, wait a second. So one is ready.
Out of the way, Eva. Out of the way.
Dominic is going.
I'm going to sit there.
Now, wait. We do this in order.
Go with Dominic.
The small one, I don't think it's this one. Is it that one? That's that one, okay. That one stays, actually. So it's always staying, because we've got another two over there. Wait, yes. Are we sure it's this one? Okay, so there's a
problem with
it's a. Okay, we're gonna try. Can I give it to you? And then you can come with me to the other one.
Oh, the other one. Come on, let's go get the other one.
No, wait a second.
I'm moving the chairs.
We just leave it because we don't understand.
Guys, it's Torah Chapter now. It looks like it, but I don't know.
So,
I've got one here.
where's the last one?
I'll take that.
We've got to kind of, we don't really know, we need to try.
I'll go for this.
Okay? Say that, yes. Can you take that one? Yeah, take that one. She doesn't take it, so we
Yes.
okay, good. So sit over there. Can I have it with that, please? Yes, just someone to have it with that. So this is yours.
Eva, let somebody else know.
This one on chicken, this one or not?
Okay, so you take that, then you take that one. And why don't you sit there? Maybe you can lay this down here. Good. So,
You need to hold it to the bottom of the bank so it's not lifted off.
okay, is it, does it work? Let's see.
Shabbat.
Sorry.
Shabbat on this.
Yeah.
Right, so then we need to see.
Wait. Brilliant, that's good. So we're going to collect all of them. Brilliant. Okay, so we think the other way around, okay?
This one didn't have
Both hands. All the way, as high as you can. I got it look back.
Okay, so let's start with this jacket around.
Okay, stand on place. Stand on place. Are you sure this is the right one? Renee,
Yes.
are we sure this is the right one?
So this one, yes. So Mary, this doesn't go there.
Let Rebecca leave us. Leave us.
So this one seems to be okay. No?
I don't know. Yeah. Okay, Rebecca, can you move half?
Yes, like this. So take
The yard first.
the yard first.
2 at the moment, and then it will be 5, 7, 8.
You're absolutely right. So now, okay, so these two goes.
I think it's going to keep that one.
Okay, I think we have a problem with this cover over there. It might be this one.
That's why we left lots of time, because
Aren't the songs?
So, Kathy, why are we redressing the Torah from?
I mean, take a photo, definitely.
The high goes into white because it's a sign of purity and it's new beginnings and it's those positive things last year. And we didn't do it, but it was done. No, we as a team didn't do it, but it was done. So every year,
Yes! Yes! I'm going to take pictures.
I'm the rabbi again. I'm the rabbi. This is the more rabbi-like podium.
Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of that. Can I just... so I can remember. I wonder. Maybe I will print it and put somewhere else. Kinderler, thank you for your help. Let's go for a kiddush now. Okay? We go into the NSJ hall now.
so all dressed up in its finest and ready for Rosh Hashanah.
So, bye-bye. So, those who came online today, it's been a bit messy, but this needed to be done.
On Yom Kippur, can I blow the shofar?
When?
On Yom Kippur.
Oh, maybe during the family service, yes? Yeah?
I mean, more important, do you know how to
Do you know how to blow the shofar?
Is it like here? Like that?
Oh. Okay.